In this video, we're going to talk about determining the type of equation you're looking at. So there's three types of equations that we're going to be talking about. First is the conditional equation. The second is identity, and the third is inconsistent equation. So what are these? So conditional equation means that there's at least one answer, okay, or at least one root, one solution to the equation. Identity means that every number that is in the domain of the equation is an answer to the equation. Okay? And then lastly, inconsistent equation is there's absolutely no answer, there's no solution, no root to the equation. So we'll do it 3 examples and we'll show how you can tell which type of these equations you're looking at. Okay, so starting with the first example, 8y minus 5 equals 19. So the best way to determine what type of equation is just to go ahead and try to solve the equation and then see what happens. Okay, so I'm going to add 5 to both sides to try to solve this. So I end up with 8y equals 24, right? 9 plus 5 is 24. Okay, then I'm going to divide both sides by, 19 plus 5 is 24. So I'm going to divide both sides by 8 is the next step. And I end up with y equals 3. Okay, so that is one solution, right? So there is at least one solution to this equation. So this is a conditional equation. Okay, conditional. Let's go on to the next example. So in this example, we have 6x plus 3 equals 3 times 2x plus 1 minus 10. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to distribute this 3. Okay? So I'm going to rewrite the left-hand side, 6x plus 3, and then I'm going to distribute the 3. So 3 times 2 is 6x plus 3 times 1 is 6 minus 10. Oh, 3 times 1 is not 6. 3 times 1 is 3. Okay, so 3 times 2 is 6x, and then 3 times 2x is 6x, and then 3 times 1 is 3. Okay, so now let's go ahead and combine like terms. So no like terms on this side of the equation. And then 3 minus 10, that it will be negative 7. Alright, so now I'm going to go ahead and I can subtract 6x from both sides. So maybe I could do that, right? So 6x on both sides. And then I end up with 3 equals 7. Now that's not true, right? 3 does not equal negative 7. 3 does not equal negative 7. So this is an inconsistent equation. There's no value that you can put in for x and get the right-hand side to equal the left-hand side of this equation. So there's no value that is a solution for this equation. This is an inconsistent equation. Let's go on to the next example. In this example, we have 2 plus x divided by x equals 2 divided by x plus 1. So there's a number of different ways we can go about and start solving this equation. What I'm going to do is I'm going to make the right-hand side into a single fraction. So the way I'm going to do that is I'm going to multiply this 1 by x over x. And so I'm just going to copy the right-hand side, or the left-hand side again here. And then now I'll have 2 plus x, and then this one is over x, and that one is also over x. Because 1 times x over x is just x over x. So now that these fractions have the same thing on the bottom, I can just add up the tops. Okay, so of 2 plus x over x, just copying that down for the left-hand side, and then I can add the tops of these equations, and then the thing that's on the bottom is just that x. Okay, so there we go. Now I have this 2 plus x over x equals 2 plus x over x. So these two things are obviously the same. Okay, if I were to continue solving this, I could, but well, let's do it so you can see what would happen. Say the next step I would multiply both sides by x. Okay, so the x's would cancel. And I'll be left with 2 plus x equals 2 plus x. Okay, say the next thing that I would do is maybe subtract 2 from both sides. And I'm left with x equals x. And the last thing I might do is subtract x from both sides, and I'll get 0 equals 0. Okay, so I could have stopped here at this step once I saw that the right-hand side equaled the left-hand side, exactly. Or I would have continued, and at the end I would have gotten 0 equals 0. Either way, 0 always equals 0, and this equation for x, so this side of the, this mathematical expression on the left-hand side of the equation will always equal this mathematical expression on the right-hand side of the equation, regardless of what x is. So for any value of x, as long as it's a value of x that's in the domain of the function. So this is an identity. Okay, regardless of the value of x, the right-hand side will always equal the left-hand side. 0 will always equal 0.